With streaming, you can choose when you interact with people. With most jobs, you don't. That's huge. That's huge. I have a lot of days where I like am totally fine streaming, and then occasionally I have one day here and there where I'm like, I can't interact with people today, or not for this period of time. I just like my battery's drained, and I have the option to say, fuck it, I'll just stream tomorrow instead. You know, fuck it, I'll just move it back. You can't do that at a lot of other jobs, and that is the one thing that I like the most. So, you know. Other jobs, the day you're feeling off is precisely when chaos will break out. Yeah, I mean, the caveat is like, if I'm a streamer and I'm like, oh, let me take a day off, not replace it or move a stream back, let me take a day off, you just lose income for that. That's it. You just lose momentum and you lose income for it. So you don't have sick days that you can use. You don't have any guarantee that you can get paid for a certain amount of time or anything like that. It's literally the amount you work, you get that out of it. So yes, you can be like, I can take any day I want off, but also you do not get paid for it. So, you know, it's just kind of it's a big catch. Some people really don't do well. Actually, a lot of people don't do well in that environment. But yeah, for me, it's a little rough. It makes you nervous, and it makes you'll see some streamers that like take a lot of time off and they're fine. You see some streamers that never take time off. They refuse. And it's because a lot of the time, number one, they might just be used to it. But number two, a good number of them are fearful. They're very fearful of taking time off because that means losing income. But also they're like, every day I'm not streaming, I'm not gaining, and not gaining is bad. And it's not just about income, it's just about everything, you know? And they care a lot about their business, and it makes them so anxious that a lot of them just won't do it. They just won't do it. Yeah, me too, Mithril. You said you've always been in jobs where a day off just means you're doing double when you return to make up for the same pay. Yeah, I for me, it didn't matter how much time I was punched in for a lot of things I did. I just had to produce the results. So no matter what, that was getting done. So if I didn't do it that day, it was all getting done the next day, you know, or whatever. Like there was no, oh, I'll just have less time put into something. Like the time that you put into something was always the same because that thing had to get done. So I feel you. I feel you. Even follows are super valuable. Yeah. Like I see some chatters are a bit weird about like CCV. I don't know why they get involved in talking about it at all, but some chatters are odd about CCV. And I remember I was in a friend's stream. This was like a couple of months ago. I thought it was such a weird comment. There's a chatter that so my friend was streaming, and it was like a slow day for her, and her CCV was about a third lower than it usually is. And she knew that. She could see it. She was still streaming. She's streaming through it. Not a lot of new people are coming in, but there's some. She's streaming a game category where a few new people are coming in and being like, oh, I like this game, whatever. Some chatter comes in and is like, you know, honestly, I wonder if it's like, they meant this as a nice comment. They were like, I wonder if it's even worth you streaming right now because like it's so low. Maybe just end stream and take a break. Because she said something about being tired. They weren't saying it to me mean. Like I get what they were saying. They were like, she said she was tired, and they were like, well, you say you're tired and like things are looking a little low today. Like you could just take time off, I guess. It was kind of weird. But I was like, more is more though. Like even if the CCV is low, you're still putting time in front of your core people. You're playing ads at least, you know, like you're still gaining something. To have that attitude of like, just don't even do it. Yeah, something is better than nothing, right? I was like, what? It was so weird. I was like, what are they saying? The only thing that's affected it by your average going down, like if you do a lot of extra hours at low CCV and your like monthly average goes down, the only thing that is affected is potentially how much money sponsors will give you. The only money that's calculated off of your CCV is sponsorship money. And it's not always directly calculated because you can tell them, yeah, when I stream these things, my CCV is lower or at these times, but when I stream at those days and times or these other things, it's higher. So you can pitch them and say, well, I'm going to stream your game at this time on a normal day, so it's going to be at this higher whatever, and they'll still calculate off of that. So even if your average looks lower for some reason, like you can still just bargain, you know, and just be like, look, it makes sense. And they'll be like, okay. So it's just one of those things where I was like, this literally doesn't affect anything. It was so weird. I don't know. It was odd. It was odd. Imagine going into a retail store and telling them to close because it's slow. Yeah. Like, I get what they're saying if you're getting, like, one sale out of 8 hours of sitting there at a counter. I get that. But, like, if 2/3 of your people are still there, like, did he want her to be like, oh, fuck them? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, huh? I understand maybe extending if you get a raid and there's a lot of new people there and you want to stream for longer for them, like being additive for that. I get that. But it being low and being like, fuck them, I'm not even going to do a normal stream. That says to me like the guy's implying like your just smaller core audience isn't even worth it, right? Like that's what that said to me, and I was like, ew, I don't know. It was so odd, dude. So I get that if you're feeling really poorly, otherwise keep on. A small audience is still valuable, right. That's the thing is like, if you normally have 300 people there, today you only have 200, but you're almost always at 300. What do those 200 people not matter? Right? Like that's what that said to me, and I was like, huh? Okay. All right. It was so odd. It's such a weird way to think about it. Also, the people that show up, like, no matter what, they're not just there just cause. The people that are there, like, no matter what you do, tend to be those, like, 200 that are always there, right? Aren't those the ones that you care about the most? It doesn't mean you don't care about the others, but aren't those, like, the core? I don't know. It was just one of those things where I was like, everything about this mindset is flipped in the wrong direction. It was so odd. So weird. They can be super active. Yeah, those are the people that chat the most anyway, right? How crucial is a core audience? They're everything. They're everything. They are your people that show up every day, every week, you know, whatever their frequency is. They're the people that are actually the community because they're there all the time. So they set the tone and the vibes of the chat. And then when the other people that come in occasionally are there, they're matching the vibe of that core audience. They're the existence and the identity of your community. That's it, right? And they're your baseline. Yeah. They're often the people that talk the most. They're the people that care the most. They're the people you interact with the most. They are everything. Everyone else is additive on top and great, but you shouldn't base things off of those people. You base things off of the people that are like the dedicated ones that are there the same way you are dedicated to sitting there and streaming for them all the time. They're meeting you in the middle. That's what's important. So you really shouldn't care about the other things as much. Not that you shouldn't at all. Like, it's great to have new people. You want things to grow, yes, but that core is what matters. If you have to compare them, 100%. You said, yeah, I saw clown pubes and thought, cool vibes around here.
Your undead are the core audience faction redeems
yeah.
chat.
All the people with weird glorp names and stuff. Yep. The community is, while it's a very wide community, there are a lot of different types of people. It's also kind of just a millennial hellscape.